Okay, everybody, welcome back. Got a little bit of a treat for you. We're actually going to have we're going to have Eric Hunter coming on as a co-commentator. Going to have him coming on here in a second. But first, you're going to be streaming the Greg Shaw versus Kyle Kallin game. Both our players are 2-1. Hunt Down V versus Legend. So, I mean, not really seeing a lot of Hicko in this round, but we are seeing a lot of Legend. We're seeing Hunt Down V still. So, let me get Eric on board, and we'll have Kyle versus Greg. Let's see. Dash 2534. Okay, so while we're waiting on Eric, as you can see, Greg has Vader down at the Malakir Sith Temple Upper Chamber. So he's going to be doing a drain of 4 this turn. Kyle has Luke out already. Earlier he did put Leia back. He took Solo into his hand. So let's see what he loses in the drain. He lost the Falcon from reserve deck, Rey with lightsaber from reserve deck, Rescuing the Clouds from reserve deck, and that's it. So it was a drain of 3, and he ended up losing the 3. So let's get Eric involved. Hey, how you doing? I cannot complain today. Yu-Gi-Oh! Disable video. Come on. Yeah. Yep. Why is this not? No problem. I mean, so I did. There we go. I did most of the games yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't finish. I wasn't able to finish all of them. So, but it happens. So we were watching we got the Greg Shaw versus Kyle Kallin game. In this game, it is a Hunt Down V versus Legend. Greg has the Darth Vader Emperor's Enforcer out at the Malakir's Sith Temple Upper Walkway. So it's a drain of +1 there. So you drain for 3 this turn. Kyle does have Luke out already for Legend, but he lost the Falcon, and he lost a Rey with lightsaber already. So just bringing you back up to speed. Oh, there we go. Now you should be good.
Yeah, the losing the Falcon there is not great. I imagine he would like to have that out. I don't think Hunt Down V plays that much space in getting the Falcon out to Jakku to drain for 3 at some point during the game.
Yeah, and he started the system over either of the 2 other sites. So and losing the Falcon there kind of hurts. I mean, don't get me wrong, he probably has other starships and stuff, so but the Falcon being that you can drain for +1 at Jakku as it is so good.
We see the Takodan and Maz's Castle come out, which is I saw a couple games yesterday, commentated a couple, and the legends that the games that I saw, I had not seen this site play.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I think there was
Um,
only one other game that I saw that has this kind of setup. And it risks like walkers coming down, which aren't good. A lot of people have switched from this setup to the antechamber and playing the other Acto site. So
yeah, I think that's generally better because you don't want to give up this liability,
mm-hmm.
a drain of two. Um, if your only two battlegrounds are a Jakku system and the 2/1, that's a drain -1. Um,
Yeah,
you're not really giving up any liability because you're comfortable fighting at one system in Legend.
exactly. And that's
But
the and as we've seen in a lot of the decks that are being played, like I know Justin Desai plays it that way, Steve Baroni plays it that way. Um, I believe Bastion plays it the same way. So I mean, we see top players playing it with that way. I mean, I understand this is how it was played. It's a nice pool chain and everything, but I would rather do it the other way and be a little bit safer. So,
mhm. I
but
think Shaw's got to be thrilled with that deploy
yeah,
from Kyle. I mean, he's projection of Skywalker is at the Malachor site, so it's now only a drain of 0 +1/+1.
mm-hmm.
But Kyle's only threatening a drain of 1, plus the Rose Retrieval. And
Yeah,
Padme is a great card for countering Darth Vader. And so now he doesn't even have to worry about that.
exactly. Like, Greg doesn't really have to worry about anything at this point. I mean, there are cards like Qui-Gon with lightsaber I would be afraid of. Maybe an Obi-Wan with lightsaber. Again, we saw Kyle lose a Rey with lightsaber in an earlier drain, so. And I think if you're Greg, you're fine just draining for 2. And as you can see, he's drawing up now. He's
Yeah,
flipped.
draining for 2 and Visage.
Yeah.
He's not even flipped back.
And being that Luke is on Acto, you don't fear Luke, so you're essentially coming down to cards like Ahsoka, Qui Gon, Anakin, and Obi Wan, and the new Yoda. So there's only 5 cards you're really concerned with on the flip.
Well, I think Kyle's game plan may be to set up Menace Fades here.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would dramatically change the drain race.
Yes, yeah, because that would turn off the
and that
that
would force Shaw to want to initiate battle, which will enable Kyle to flip, and then you'll get the drain bonus.
Yeah.
So if unless other than setting up Menace Fades, this is not looking good for Kyle.
True. Now I will say this though: if Greg is still on the 7 side, Kyle would lose all those drain bonuses from his objective.
Unless he's flipped.
Well, yeah,
Right.
you would have to flip Greg back to 0, because with the legend, you get the +1 drain when you have 2 resistance characters. So with the 7 side of Greg's objective, as long as Vader has a lightsaber, all those drain bonuses are canceled.
Right. Unless that's only on the 7 side.
Correct. So you need to set up Menace Fades and get a Jedi out to flip him back. So that way you get. It just seems like Kyle at this point has to do so much. Okay, so
Step 1 is definitely going to be Menace Fades.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't have that, then he's in trouble.
Agreed.
But with Menace Fades, Shaw would only wouldn't be force draining.
Okay, so here comes the Bright Hope. We did just see him put Finn back into the use pile and grab Poe. And I think if you're Kyle, you still want that second character on the Bright Hope, so if and when you flip, you get the drain bonus. And there it is. There's Solo. So yeah, he needs the menace phase here right now. But I will say this: it looks like he's playing an older list. Because I know Legend in the last like month, maybe month and 2 months, changed a little bit. So maybe he's playing like an older list from right around the NPC time.
Yeah, I mean, he used his force pile pull that turn,
Mm-hmm.
and if he didn't find the most important card for him would be Menace Fades, and if he didn't find it there, then it was a bad idea to use the force pile pull.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right that he used it?
Let me check. But he did just lose a control tunnel vision from the reserve deck to the Visage Ping. Uh, yeah, he
Yeah, he
did take a
did.
card. So, and as we just saw, he did put out Menace Fades. So, yeah, I think Menace Phase is a really good card for light side right now.
Like he probably should have searched with Luke for
Mm-hmm.
force projection to see if it was in his force pile, and then decide to use it or not.
Okay, so he does play the control tunnel vision. He plays the control tunnel vision there. He cancels. Oh, he plays it with Solo to cancel this strain.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think he play. I'm not. I'm not. I don't know if he plays Menace Fades at this point,
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think. I agree.
which seems it's going to be tough, very tough.
So, what do you think of this new Hunt Down deck?
It's pretty silly.
Really?
Its destiny is insane. It
Yeah.
can threaten 3+ damage at the start of every game because no light side deck is giving up 0 icons right now. Which means it has
True.
enough force to download Vader, his saber, and move over to a drain 2 location.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ability of an Inquisitor to come down and draw 2 destinies and have 10 attrition to
Yeah.
um, really just clear out any site. It's just super strong. Um,
Yeah.
and then the ability to cancel force drain bonuses of your opponent while flipped
Mm-hmm.
kind of just takes out space decks.
Yeah, and I mean, as we saw like a lot. Even today, there was some EBOs that were being played, and that's a little surprising to me. Like we're seeing EBOs, we're seeing uh, ISB decks. So I think against like a deck like EBO, it just kills that all those drains.
Yeah, I mean, I like EBO more than the next guy, and I would not have played it.
So I mean, if you were playing in this tournament, what would you have played?
I honestly don't know. I have not been. Uh,
That's fair.
I mean, like the last time I even thought about Star Wars was for the OCS, and that was like just like a day thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So it it seems to me like Hunt Down, ISB, Hitco, and Legend um,
Yeah.
are the 4 decks to be considering, based off of what I've been seeing, like what people have been playing and what I've been seeing.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say there are some Watch Your Steps that are being played. Like I know Charlie and Worfs both made it into next week with those two decks. So
Yeah, I've heard some chatter and expect about Watch Your Step. I don't know. I haven't really seen. I didn't see any games played with it yesterday,
mm-hmm.
and I don't really know what it's supposed to do. Um, it did seem like there was some exciting cards.
Yeah,
Like I think the Lando is pretty neat, and the new Han. I don't know Is are they playing it with a Kessel?
So you play it with the new Kessel. I'm seeing people play it differently. Worst plays it more with like draw their fire and stuff like that. Charlie plays it with Kessel, and Kessel runs Lebos and Kira's, so that way you do a drain of 2 at Kessel, and then you're doing once you complete a Kessel run, you do a ping with Kira for every time you drain, and you're doing a ping with Lebo.
Mm-hmm. So Kyle force drain for 1-1, and Greg actually lost Erica off the top, and that's a really good. Erica's a really great card against Legend
Uh,
because she just says retrieve a force every turn.
that's actually Erica non V. Yeah, that's the undercover spy one.
Oh, this is the undercover spy one.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. Interesting. I haven't seen that.
I know Robbie in his Senate deck is playing it, but yeah, I agree. Like, uh, in this deck, I like Erica because against Legend, she's really good. Now, again, Hunt or Hitco, not so much. Like a lot of Hitco and everything. I don't know. I would rather just play like Mara Jade with lightsaber. But I do like the retrieval that you get from Erica, especially this matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, adding Min to that site. So Min's text says while at opponent's battleground, force drains here may not be reduced, which means he will not prevent the projection of a Skywalker from reducing the drain, as it is Greg's location and not
Correct.
Kyle's. But I'm wondering if he's contemplating placing interrupt out of play. Otherwise, the deploy doesn't really make that much sense.
I agree. I think with, but at the same time, you're still out damaging Kyle. So I mean, it's not a. There are better places to put them in. I agree.
So at this point, Kyle's doing one at Jakku and one at Maz's site.
Mm-hmm.
And Shaw is draining for 2, but Kyle's retrieving 1.
Yes.
So,
but I mean, Greg is still doing the visage damage on every one of Kyle's turns. So
yeah, he actually has enough life force where he's winning. He would win the game if the board state didn't change. Because Greg has 43 cards left in his deck in hand.
Yeah, and Kyle only has 28. Yeah. Okay, so Kyle did just flip Greg back. So, but I mean, that really, I mean, now Greg is, so the damage is back to the same. Because now Greg has to lose to Visage. Okay, so he's going to play a No Escape. And let's see, he's going to get the Erica. Now, I think if you're Greg, though, if you go down to like the third marker, you're fine there. Like, I mean, you see that Kyle has put down Qui-Gon with lightsaber. I mean, Solo's up in space. I mean, the only real cards you're fearing are like Rey with lightsaber and maybe like an Obi-Wan with lightsaber. Outside of that, there's really nothing I would worry about. Okay, so that's going to add to the drain, though. And it's just showing, like, right now, Kyle has no... There's like Kyle's not gonna the fight. He felt like I mean, you could just see like he was almost fine with just sitting there trying to drain. And you in this matchup especially, you have to realize like you need to flip your objective. You have to. And let's see what happens. Come on.
I'm wondering. So we see one force field in the lost pile.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if Shaw is holding an imbalanced combo or a second force field in hand, because those would be the best ways to protect Erica.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the mess combo. Or sorry about the mess.
Let's see. I think he lost that force field. Let's see. He lost the Erica from. Okay, so he lost the force field and the Erica both from his deck. So. Is it that time of the day? Yeah,
So Greg also adds a Dark Jedi lightsaber, which adds 1 to force drain. I think he's based off of the use pile poll and choosing to cancel a drain rather than search his force pile. I think he's maybe operating under the assumption that he doesn't have menace fades, and is comfortable just adding force drain bonuses.
Yeah, and like I said, I think Kyle is running with an older version of your of a legend build.
And Greg's played a fair amount of legend, so he knows what to do against it.
Okay, so Kyle plays
leadership, which is typically the best card to grab against legend.
Yeah, and he grabbed General Kenobi, so. Wow. It's 3 in like less than 10 minutes.
Have you seen this matchup before?
In
this tournament?
I've seen this kind of a matchup. No, it's mostly I've ran into a lot of like ISB with this matchup.
But, sorry, ISB against Legend.
Yeah. Like we just saw, I know there was a Steve Baroni versus Drew Lichtenstein's. Drew was playing ISB, Steve was playing Legend, and Steve eked out on that one.
Yeah, I caught a little bit at the end. It looks like Drew made a mistake. I don't think it was gonna. It looked like Steve was gonna win anyway. I saw him drop Mara with lightsaber to a site. It was like a 2-1, and there was already a projection on it.
Yeah, I don't think that was a mistake. So I think the reason he did that was so he could keep up with the retrieval, and. So
well, you could have played it to another site where there was no characters, and you could have drained for 1.
True, you're right.
But it seemed Steve had, this lag is really bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
He had already secured the Endor site and looked like he was going to win in space.
Yeah, I will say
this really grinding matchup though.
Yeah, I will say this: that Legend deck that him and Desai are playing right now is really good. It seems like it's really solid. All you basically want to do is you hold down your 2 sites, you do your ping drain with BB-8, you get your Rose retrieval, and you play Menace Fades. And against this kind of deck, or even ISB, you're turning off all of their force drain bonuses, so they really can't do much to you.
Yes, it's a really strong deck. The fact that he could drain for 3, ping for 1, and retrieve 1, all at one site. I took it. I popped in towards the end of Justin Asai Yoshi's game yesterday and took a
Yeah.
screenshot because there was two sites that there's one site in one system and there must have been 20 characters or starships
Yeah.
between the two.
And they weren't
Um,
doing anything for like 10 turns.
yeah, man, I think the game went to like turn 18 or something. It's just personally, I don't find that style of Star Wars very much fun. Um, but it's a really effective strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I think Legend is interest. Hunt Down V is interesting because Legend is a little bit slow, and Hunt Down V you can start threatening, a drain of 3 on your
Yeah.
turn 2
Mm-hmm.
and have Visage, so you can just put the pressure on. Kyle adds Obi, Rey with lightsaber, and Anakin to the third marker, which would put the damage race in his favor.
Mm-hmm. But okay, so Greg has so we just saw him lose a. Oh, so Kyle does have play Menace Phase, but he just lost it from his deck to the Visage Ping.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
okay, so Greg throws down the Emperor's Shuttle with the fifth brother. Now I do. Okay, attempts to cancel Poe Dameron's game text.
I got to say, it's a little counterintuitive to me that you can add a hatred card in space.
I agree, but it's
I don't quite. I don't know what these brothers are from. Like where is that, like Clone Wars or something?
The Rebels, yeah, the Rebels TV series.
But it seems like hating something should be happening in person and not through starships in space.
Yeah,
But maybe that's.
I agree. I think it is a little bit counterintuitive what actually occurs, but this is also Star Wars CCG, so. Okay, so he throws down Tarkin as well. Unfortunately, like the fifth brother here isn't a leader, so he won't add an extra Destiny. Now, with the Hatred card, he could play. There is a Lost Interrupt that you could play to add a Destiny there, but I think if you're Greg, there's really no reason to battle here because you would cause your opponent to flip their objective, and that's like the worst thing. That's the one thing that Greg doesn't want to happen.
I gotta say, this is a little curious. Because of Gold Leader and Gold 1, even if he was to add Emperor there for 2 force because of the Goldenrod, he would have had only 1 force left, and he could have only drawn 1 Destiny.
Yeah.
Here, he's only going to draw 1 Destiny, and Kyle can draw 2 because of Poe. Well, I guess Greg probably... Does that Hatred Interrupt work in space?
Yes.
So he's going to be getting 2 Destiny. Yeah, and Kyle only has 4 cards, one of which is Force Projection. Probably lose solo. He definitely needs something else.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose Solo and Poe. Now, being that Greg is probably going to draw the 2 Destiny here, I mean, you're going to lose 2 cards. And I mean, Erica's blocking the drain over here, so and Rey's only by herself, so you're not getting that drain bonus. So your objective's not really doing much. But again, that is if only Greg has that Lost Interrupt. We did just see Greg lose a Mara Jade to the Visage Ping, so he's playing Erica and Mara Jade. Interesting. So pulls the do they have code clearance? So So Kyle uses. I think I can handle myself to add one to the drain at the third marker. Okay, there goes a Lord Vader. Land a Dobry combo. That's a big card to lose, and we must accelerate our plans. So.
He should place Walkling out of play to retrieve the Menace Fades.
Oh, I agree. He does. Yeah, he needs the Menace Fades at this point. I mean, he already. So yeah, he already used Solo's game tech, so he can't get it that way. Interesting that Greg plays the Imperial Detention. I mean, is there any cards that you could think of that would stop like?
Oh yeah, the Leia's Resistance.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, you're right. And Kyle uses Kenobi's once per game to take a saber into hand. No saber was revealed, so Greg gets to verify.
Yeah, he should have looked. If he wanted to just get a look, he should have used Luke.
Agreed. Well, you could have used Luke. You could also use the site. Yeah, there's other things that you could have used there. So
Werf says that he'll retrieve with Leia on battling, and I think it's better to retrieve with Walkling. Oh, he's just not even going to play anything else. I was going to say it'd be better to retrieve with Walkling because then you could deploy stuff and then battle, and then it'd be deeper in your deck. And when you flip with Legend, you can actually track. The play would be to activate so that Menace would be the top card of your reserve deck, and then do your turn, use the exchange, move it to your force pile, and then draw it on the next turn. But because he's not spending any extra force, it's not. He's going to have the same play available to him.
And I think here is where, I mean, Kyle essentially has to use the force projection here. Because he can't afford to lose both of the characters.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to use it. And lose Solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now he's just got to do something about that Erica there. Okay, so Greg doesn't have the interrupt. Yeah, so he draws. Okay, so we go straight into Battle Destiny. Draws a 5 for Destiny. Yeah, I don't know what Greg. I don't know what Greg was doing then. So Kyle draws a 11 for Battle Destiny, and now Greg. I mean. Okay, so I mean that's a 5. Yeah, I think you have to use the force projection here. Because even if you only get like a 1, and you can if you lose
using force projection there was bad because he was going to have 7 attrition, and he'll just lose Solo. Here, he's going to have 3 attrition, and still he has to lose something.
Well, the reason I'm saying this is now, so Greg is probably out of ships. He already lost 1 Emperor shuttle, and now he's cleared off of the Emperor shuttle now again. So, and saving Solo and Poe. Now this is drain of 2 in space and drain of 2 in the ground. So I mean, Kyle's really out damaging Greg.
Yeah, so he's just peeling the 3, and then he's going to add Emperor and Tarkin, and he'll be able to draw 3 Destiny.
Yeah, we saw that he lost a far more frightening than death Gick combo and Ellis Hellrot. Kyle will place Walkling out of play to retrieve his gold leader in gold 1. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and Greg will be able to drain for 3 on the ground, too. For free. Now, the only problem is the Emperor's Shuttle's not immune here.
I wonder why he saved 4 force. And then lost 2 from his force pile.
Yeah, he ended up losing the Mandalorian Mishap, the BB-8, and the Blaster Deflection. I'm wondering where the Menace phase is in his deck. I don't think Finn, because I mean, you're not gonna. Okay, so Night Sister comes down. Does she work? Yeah, while out of sight. So her game text does not come into effect there. It's been doing this all morning, or all.
The menace phase should be 6 from the bottom.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point. Thank you, Warps. Yeah, the heck? Oh.
Yeah, Warps, I think that's probably right. But if you're thinking, hey, I'm going to spend 2 force on my turn, you shouldn't leave 4 in your force pile.
Mm-hmm.
You should draw. If you're ultimately going to lose cards from force pile, you should draw them instead, and then choose which cards to lose.
Okay, so it is 2 Destiny to 2 Destiny right now. Poe Dameron's game text is not canceled. We saw that Kyle lost a Hojix to from Force Pile to keep the post game text into play. And we don't have a battle from Greg. Interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think he's happy satisfying battle plan as long as he can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
so I don't know what's in Kyle's hand, but he should either activate 8 or activate 14.
So that way he can get to the Menace Fades.
Yeah. And he chooses. So maybe he, like, I don't know what he's going to be playing here. If he's playing on just like retrieving and then drawing, If he's not thinking about finding his Menace Aids, which honestly I think is likely, I don't like this.
I mean, this is going to get rid of that Erica, unless Greg has an answer. No, and that's 100% correct there, Worse. It really doesn't matter as long as Greg is at the system.
Sort of. I mean, as long as he's at the system. But I think if he then takes the system, it's just the game's over.
True.
With Menace phase out.
Okay, so Kyle does draw enough to get rid of that Erica. So he'll be doing drains of 2 and 2 this turn.
So if you're Greg, you've got to do something about this board state. Between the two sites, you'd want to attack into the Maz's site because you want to get rid of Rose. And both sites are drained too. So
yeah. I mean, if you get rid of Rose, then that site isn't a drain of 2.
Right.
I don't remember if he lost it, but do you remember if Greg lost his Gick?
I don't remember either. I don't think I've seen it.
Ah, so now the Tantive comes down, so it's going to work with the Bright Hope pretty nicely up there. Yes, I think Greg still has his Gick, but again, I could be wrong. Okay. Yeah, I think... Yeah, and I think if you're Kyle, you can't battle here just because you only got one Destiny left. I don't like that. I mean, you don't need Chewie there.
He wants the extra drain bonus.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But it turns off Leia's gun. If he wasn't going to battle there, he should have used his objective to move the card from reserve deck into force pile.
Mm-hmm.
Give him the extra force.
I do know that. I think he did that, though.
Did he do that?
Yeah. Activated. Drained. Yeah, he did do that. Oh, okay. Thank you, Worse. Yeah, I mean, Greg is causing a force loss each turn by stacking the hatred cards. And, I mean, he's got 16 of them left, so that's not a bad strategy each turn. And if Kyle's not going to battle, why not?
He lost a card from hand. He went to 0 cards in hand.
Yeah, so... And it was a Jedi's Resilience, too, so... I mean... Yes, Greg could have a Cold Feet in his hand, but... I think you at least have to keep that card. Okay, Greg checking out his Destiny, seeing what he has. Okay, so right now Kyle's at 11 cards, whereas Greg is currently at 21.
But Kyle is doing a drain of 3, a drain of 2, and a retrieval of 1.
Yes.
I bet he would love to have had resistance or ultimatum out instead of goldenrod.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen any if he has any Hear Me Babies or anything, so okay, so Greg is going to initiate here. Interesting. Draws a 4 for his first Destiny.
Kyle may be contemplating,
Canceling.
or no, Greg may be contemplating the redraw. Greg is.
I mean, he did check and see his Destinies, so... Yeah, Kyle's going to cause that to be redrawn. And it's a 4,
So he's going to have a 10 total Destiny minus whatever Bright Hope does. Or Greg redraws this 4
Interesting.
into a 5, so
5.
it's 11.
Let's see. Theorenet is, I believe...
4.
Yeah.
So he needs to draw at least a 4 with Bright Hope.
There you go. That's a 5. So... So now, what do you lose?
You lose solo.
Yeah, I don't like losing the Bright Hope there, or the Tentative. You still need it. Now, he could have another ship to put out, but... I mean, the only other ship that we saw that he has is the Gold Leader and Gold 1.
Yeah, I mean, next time Greg initiates battle in space, he's going to clear Solo and Poe and just leave the Bright Hope. If Kyle had forfeited Solo, he would have still had the Bright Hope reduction. And after that battle, he could have just... After the next battle, he would still have Poe on Bright Hope, because presumably he'd lose Theron and Tantive. So he basically lost himself a turn of space.
Okay,
I'm
so
also
Greg.
guessing that Greg has the Destiny 5 interrupt that lets you place hatred cards
Oh yeah.
in use pile.
Okay, so Greg lost. You are beaten. Force push. They're still coming through, and force push to the second drain, and a seventh sister. So he's only got 8 cards left in his life force. Kyle will retrieve with Rose, and Greg will play the imbalance combo.
And he initiates battle. I don't understand why you initiate battle here.
I think he initiated just to retrieve, but I don't. No, you don't initiate battle here because you need to occupy for battle order. Because Greg's got so much forfeit up there. Okay, I mean that's going to get rid of 2 characters. It's going to be what the 5th brother in Krennic.
Meanwhile, Kyle will only have the Bright Hope left, or I mean, it'd actually be better for him to forfeit the ship.
Yeah.
Because he has no cards in hand, he doesn't have Hujiks.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to be counterbeat.
Yeah, he lost the Hojiks, and he already used Solo, so
Yep, chooses to lose the Bright Hope.
okay. Now that I agree was smart. I mean, after Greg's turn, though, he's going to be down by. He'll have only 6 cards left. So, I mean, he'll still be able to do the 2 drains, draining for 2 and 3. Greg will be at. Yeah, Greg's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just by the math, Greg wins this. So, let's check and see what else is going on while we have it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't have that interrupt. I would have thought.
Mm-hmm. Chris Kelly and Chris Gogan are both playing again. Baroni is playing Fernando.
Who is this Fernando guy?
So apparently he's from Spain, and this is his first ever tournament. And he upset Greg in the first round. So, okay, this is insane. So Steve, I'm watching right now into the Steve and the Fernando game. Fernando doesn't have a lost pile. He's on the 7th side of his legend deck, and I mean he also has the same setup as this one, where he starts the Moss Castle plus the 1-0 site. It's on his turn. He just initiated. He's got Qui-Gon, Serene Master, Rose, Chewie, Yoda. Against Steve. Steve has Majerick, Gideon, a Stormtrooper Patrol, a Hit Agent Callus, Blizzard 4, and on the Blizzard 4 is. Come on. Vader. So
we could just go over to that stream. I think
let me double check
it
and make
looks
sure
like
somebody's not streaming it.
I think Joe, Charlie, and maybe Bastion
Yeah.
are all streaming it already.
No, just Joe.
Just Joe.
Just Joe. Well,
I mean, this Fernando guy does not have a lost pile.
no, and that's like it's insane. I don't know who he is. Apparently, there is a Tarkin84 who was in the chat earlier said this that he has played other card games before, so.
Yeah, but you don't just like play in your first event with two versions of like the best deck. Like he must have been playing on Gemp for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. I don't think I've seen it before.
Agree. Same. Like never seen him before. Don't know who he is, and he comes out and again just beat Greg Shaw for in the first round, and is currently playing Steve Baroni and playing Baroni really well. He's got 21 life force, 9 in hand, so the 30. Baroni has 14. So he's got 20 life force in hand. So. And again, he initiated the battle and didn't lose anything in this battle. So. Okay, so yeah, Kyle loses into the drain, so we're gonna back out of this one. I do want to check into the Steve and the Fernando game really quick. Like I said, it looks like it's. I don't know. I like I said, I do not know, but yeah, it looks like there are a lot of people who are currently watching this game because this is both players are 3-0. DDM. So you can't actually. So to limit the amount of issues with the server as we can, we took the PC took off the ability to go in and actually stream games. But yeah, currently Joe Olson is streaming this game, so we're gonna hop out of this one. But as you can see, it's looking really, God, like Steve is putting up a good fight here on Tadanka, or however you pronounce it. So let's see what other games are currently can be streamed. Looks like Chris Kelly is going to beat Chris Gogolin. Hunt Down V versus EBO. Again, as you said it, like you would not have played EBO. But It looks like Justin Miyashiro is currently streaming this one, so again, we'll back out of this. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a victory for Chris Kelly. And oh, Heat 4 has started. Okay, so you know what? Let's go into a Heat 4 game. So any of these look appealing to you, Eric?
Um, I don't know. You can. I haven't looked at the pairings, but you can just choose one. Oh, I see. You're there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still watching the Fernando game.
That's
Um,
fair. Well, you know what? Let's see. Where is he? Okay, you know what? Here's a good one. Joker King versus V. So, and the reason I'm going into this one is these are two decks we haven't seen at all. We have a Hunt Down or a Hyperdrive V versus a Relatier Ops.
that is interesting.
Both players are currently flipped. Joker King is playing the Hunt Down or the Hyperdrive V. There's 4 cards stacked on credits, so he is playing a Jedi Business variant. So yeah, two decks that we really haven't seen a lot of. Sam wants to see the Mike Kessling Aaron Kingery game. So yeah, let's check that one out. Aaron Kingery recently coming back into the game, so let me see if I can find them. Does anybody know what Kessling's name is?
I think it's Kingery Sokol, isn't it? Or sorry, never mind. Yeah, Kingery isn't he Troop 1023?
I have no idea. Like these
Yeah,
are this
yeah,
is the
that's
first
it.
this is the first one that I'm just like, who is who?
Troop 1023 versus Archmage BB.
Okay. ISB versus Legend. So I mean we've seen it a lot today, but okay, so yeah, this is Aaron Kingery versus Kessling. Okay, that makes yeah. So I mean, this is a ISB versus a legend, but it's a different legend.
Oh, it's the Blaster version.
Yeah.
So Legend isn't even flipped.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see him flipped. But I mean, he is doing 1 point of damage.
Hmm? Isn't he? He's draining for 2, draining for 1, pinging for 1, and retrieving 1.
Mm-hmm. While Kessling is doing 3 points of
3
damage, 3, 4.
and retrieving 1.
Mm-hmm. Kessling coming down with a few characters at the 500 Republica. So.
Kingery only has 5 cards in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a little hesitant of making that deploy, given that Kingery flips. You can start draining for 2 and 2 and pinging. So it looks like Fernando beat Steve.
Really?
And it looks like, is it Todd Paul or Todd? Is it Todd Paul Feldman? Just beat Hayes.
I actually didn't see anybody post the
They're on the
pairings.
finish tables.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, in this game, the one that we have up, it doesn't really look like Kessling has too much to fear. I mean, King Green's only got a 4-card hand right now. He's only got 1 force saved in his reserve deck. I mean, he is doing a little bit of I mean, he is doing drains of what, 1, 2, and 1. So he's doing 4 damage right now. Yeah.
He's gonna play Odin combo here.
Well, I mean, if he plays the Odin combo, I mean, does Rose stay? Does Ray have to stay there? Because he just moved her in.
I don't think so. I think it works like Neighborin.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, now if Kessling has his lineup combo, that's all he has to do.
Yeah, that'd be great for Kessling if he could go to Maz's.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, even so, like he's still doing a decent amount of damage because it's flipped. He's doing what? He's still doing 3 points of damage right now. Let's see. Kingery's already got Walkling out of play. So, yeah, it looks like to me Kesling's going to run away.
Yeah, and he's turned off Rose with the "Come here, you big coward."
Mm-hmm. So it looks like Ryan Jelson got the bye for Heat 4. So I'm gonna be it's gonna be interesting for Heat number 3. We're gonna have a Chris Kelly versus Fernando match because I believe Chris Kelly is still undefeated.
Do you know what decks Chris is playing?
Chris Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
Hitco, and Hunt Down V.
So that'll be Hitco versus Hunt Down. Then Chris playing Hitco.
Would it? I thought we were on game 4. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it looks like Kessling's telegraphing the Lana.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the best play for him, getting over to the 2-1 site. Yeah. And I mean, unfortunately for him, he grabbed the Rebel leadership and not the Odin Nessa combo. So if Kingery can find it again, he could play. He could probably play it again. He still has his grabber available, so I mean, I can see Kingery grabbing the Lana combo here.
So if I was Kessling, I don't know if I would have played Leia there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Mara there. I think it would have been better to go to Coruscant because all Kingery needs to do is use 3PO to get the Odin to play it next turn.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if he doesn't just send some guys to Coruscant instead. Because if he was to go to Takodana, he would go in front of all these characters, and then Kingery could then Kessling could just move them to the other site. He can't actually have a battle there. And if he sends them over to Coruscant, then those 3 guys are trapped.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting to see where Kingery goes.
So we've still got 2 games for Heat 3, and we're on game 1 of Heat 4.
So Kingery, unless he has another Odin combo in hand, it looks like he didn't track it. So BB comes down. Chose to leave Ray there. Wonder why he did that.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, well, I mean, it is a drain of 2 there, but I mean, you lose your best character.
Leaves 4 force. So maybe I'm wondering what he's decided to leave the force for. It could be it's a trap, or it could be Finn. Yeah. He's just gonna drain for 2 and 1 and then move away.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to stick around there. I mean, it is going to be a drain of 2 for Kessling or for Kingery, but at this point, I mean, he could just eat that drain because I mean, well,
Well, he can cancel one with strategic, so Kingery can spend
True.
6 to drain for 2 and 2 and only do 2 damage.
yeah, I don't
We
like that
disarm.
disarmed. I mean, you know that Mike is just going to move away. You
Mm-hmm.
just threw away a card to essentially, you just lost the card for free. So, I mean, at this point, it's coming down to a drain race, and you just played into, you just threw away a card for no reason. Eric, after this game, I have to reset Streamlabs, so just as a
Mhm.
heads up. So we'll probably take a little bit of just like a short 2 minute break. But, okay. Checking out some of the other games that are currently going on in Heat 3. Looks like we have just 2 games left for Game 4. So there's 2 games left in Heat 3. We're still on Heat 1. Heat 1 is currently in our. Or, Heat 4 is in Game 1. Kyle Kruger and Eric are still being played, as well as Paul Coggins and check and see who that is.
So Kessling decides to play Ozil and Pride in front of Ray.
I don't like that. I mean, unless he doesn't have any troopers. Well, I mean, you're getting 2 Destiny in there, but you're gonna cause
And he adds
flip.
Phasma there.
I mean,
I'm
he's
not
really out.
seeing.
I mean, he's outpowering Kingery by a lot. And if he has the trooper assault there, that's a lot more power. So
Yeah, imagine if Ozil and Pride were also at that site.
yeah,
That seems like a lot better.
no,
Like
I mean,
if he's decided that he needs to make a stand for whatever reason.
mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you're not losing any force this turn to anything that Kingery can do, and I mean, he just activated everything, so that tells me that he's not going to battle. Yeah, he's just going to shoot Phasma during the control phase. I mean, that's. I don't understand that. I mean, I get shooting Phasma in the control phase, but I don't understand why. What you wouldn't at least battle or something? Are you just going to run away? Like retrieve with Rose, ping the damage, and then just run away?
If he had just moved away, Aaron Kingery's turn, he could pay 6 to drain and then move his guys in front, and then Kessling could have deployed these 2 guys and battled. It just, yeah. I mean, I don't think Kessling took a strong line on his last turn.
No, I agree.
He still seems to be in control though. BC's actually, excuse me, he's actually doing damage.
So yeah, I mean, he's moving. No, he's gonna move. Oh, so he moved solo during the control phase. So okay, that will at least allow him to pay to. That's going to be a ping with the blaster effect. And now
So
he
now
could,
he's going to move his 4 guys over. He's going to
yeah,
take a drain at 3.
yeah, because I mean he can't risk the beatdown, especially
I
with
wonder why he
solos,
lost the patrol there.
huh?
I wonder why he lost the patrol there. I feel like he would want. So he just paid 3 to drain for 0.
I guess he didn't realize. Yeah, he forgot. And now he has to move the rest of them too, because I mean, I want to say what the villager's ability 1. Wow, I don't like that.
Well, he's got It's a Trap.
I thought,
That's the only plausible.
okay, yeah, it's a trap. Yeah, and if you're Kessling, you still want to battle, make him burn through it.
Hmm.
So, I mean, in a way, I mean, Kessling could actually battle at both locations. Okay, so he's going to drain. He loses the Chewy from the Is pile. Uses Jetta's Resilience from his hand. Okay, he's going to drain at Mustafar. Let's see what he loses. And he's going to lose another Jedi's Resilience. This time it's from his deck, so there goes a 6 off the top. Yeah, I think if you're Kessling, you're going to battle here. I think you start off at the castle. King Ray flips. I have to refresh. Okay, let's see. What's going on with game 3?
Not battling is pretty good.
For Kessling?
Yeah. Just retrieve. And then on King Ree's turn, he can't force drain. So force drain
No.
is 0.
I mean, he's still doing
If he's flipped, it becomes a drain of 1.
true.
So you don't let him flip to get the drain bonus. He can only ping you for 1 and ping you for 1 and retrieve for 1.
Mm-hmm. I thought you had a control. Okay. But okay, Kessling's gonna battle. He battles at the castle. Yep, you called it. There's the It's a Trap. Uh, that doesn't. Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't flip Kingery though. So, I mean, you burn through the It's a Trap.
Yeah, as a just action, he should have flipped and then played it to trap.
Yeah, that had to have been a mistake on his part. Well, I mean that burned a card for Kessling. So, I mean, again, that's one less card that Kingery has to do, like, to lose in a drain. So, and that's the biggest problem. Is like Kingery is losing cards that he doesn't have to. Like the Disarmed was the biggest one that I saw. Okay, so here's what I think we're gonna do.
So he's moving solo over. Kingery Kessling plays I can't shake him, which means that Han will have to use 1 force to fire.
Mm-hmm.
He hits Tarl.
Yeah, I mean, he's slowly getting rid of those troopers. I mean, the troopers don't really matter. I mean, I understand why he's doing it. Um, I I mean, the problem is right now is Kessling's still out damaging him and retrieving. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kingery is retrieving too, but I mean, I think Kessling just needs to avoid Han. He needs to keep some sort of presence on in those locations. Doesn't matter who.
So he played in Ballard's combo there to make Kingery lose one force. I don't think that was necessarily a smart time to do that.
Okay.
Because if Kingery has, sorry about the mess combo here, Kessling needs to have a Gick. Actually, he may not need a Gick. I think Ozzel by himself, you know, Kingery would need to draw a
Oh, so he tries to he tries to react with the Stormtrooper Patrol. Kingery had the Odin-Nestor combo, so I mean that canceled that react. Now it comes down to, does Kingery have the sorry?
He has to use one force to fire with Ray, so he won't have any force to retrieve.
I was going to say, what made him use the one force?
The interrupt. I can't shake him.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Draws a 1 for Battle Destiny, so I mean... Now, see, I think that's fine for that's fine for Kessling. I mean...
He can't even use the Ray draw, so he's gonna have to peel Ray in 1 here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you cause an extra point of damage, so... Okay.
And Kingery conceded.
Okay. So, good job, Kessling, on that victory. There's still 5 more games for Heat 4. We're actually... I'm actually going to go back to... We're actually going to go back to Heat 3 here in a few. I have to cancel out of Streamlabs really quick, so that way we have everything back up and running as well as we should. So we'll be back in a few minutes. So give me some time, and we'll be back for that. And we'll finish out on... you know what? We're going to do Chris Kelly and Fernando. So that's going to be an interesting match. I'm excited to watch it. So, okay.
Yeah.
Right back.